Warning. This program may contain material of an explicit or graphic nature. Viewer discretion is advised.
Broadcasting undead from the B Ward, this is Post-Mortem. I'm Don.
And I'm JD. So, you might notice the difference in audio quality.
Yeah, it
We got some legit shit around here now.
sounds a lot less like we're farting into a microphone.
It does. Yeah, Post-Mortem. This is what happens when you guys click that Amazon banner.
That's right.
We get shit. We get shit done around here.
We buy things that improve the quality of this show.
Yes.
For your ears.
All right. So, what we always...
Speaking of improving the quality of the show.
Yes.
While I was mixing the last episode, I noticed that, in my own mind at least, that I say the word like a lot. And I attribute that to being raised in California in the 80s. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a jar. I'm going to keep it next to my mixing console. And every time I notice myself saying like in the wrong context, I'm going to put a quarter in that jar. And eventually there's going to be either I'm going to stop saying like, or there's going to be enough quarters in that jar for me to buy something awesome for this show.
It's the like jar.
It's the like jar.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll get a fuck jar.
Okay.
No, I won't.
No.
All right. So, as you know, we start the show every week with a little segment we like to call Horror News.
Listen to that improved sound quality.
Oh, yes. Horror News. What do you got this week, Tom?
First of all, Bloody Disgusting was able to interview Fede Alvarez at South by Southwest. He's the guy who directed the Evil Dead remake, a number of other films. And he has sadly said that there are no plans at all for an Evil Dead 2.
Yeah, I didn't think there would
Yeah,
be.
there was talk previously about there being an Evil Dead 2 and then tying together Ash vs. Evil Dead and the Evil Dead universe with Mia. Unfortunately, all of the money and focus now is on Ash vs. Evil Dead. Yeah. And hopefully the fact that they're focusing all of the money on it means that they're going to have less computer-generated effects and more practical effects.
I sure hope so. You know, you guys will notice soon, we're going to be posting our top 100 horror movies, or our favorite 100 horror movies on the website in our About Me section. Evil Dead 2, the original, one of my top 5 of all time.
Absolutely, mine as well.
And Ash vs. Evil Dead, I wanted to love it so much, but the CGI just completely takes me out of it. I love Bruce Campbell, I love Ash, I love Evil Dead, I still watch it.
The characters were great, the story was great, everything about it was great except for those goddamn CG effects.
Yeah, if they would get rid of that, man, I'd be so happier.
I've only really seen one movie that had straight CG gore effects and was good. And it was the early 2000s Zatoichi movie. It was a Japanese blind swordsman movie. And
never seen it.
The blood on it was all CG, but it was done in such an over-the-top comic book fashion that it actually looked good. Other than that, I've never seen good pure CG gore.
Cool. Well, I'll have to check that one out. As a follow-up to my story last show, episode 5, we talked a little bit about Rob Zombie's 31.
Right.
There's a release date now.
Sweet.
September 16th. So in time for Halloween, you guys are going to get some 31 in you.
I'm excited.
Me too. I'm really excited for that movie. Another one we talked about last week that you told me about that I did not know about at the time, Frankenstein Created Bikers.
Yes.
Well, since we talked about it last show, one of my friends happened to be listening to the show last week. A guy by the name of the mad scientist of ultraviolence, Nathan Hamilton.
It's a great moniker.
It is. He does a lot of the commentary on a lot of the Southern Deathmatch feds for professional wrestling.
He's not the like
Carnage Cup.
There's one quarter right there. He's not the Jesus Christ on a pogo stick and a dump truck guy, is he?
No, that guy sucks. No, this guy's awesome. He's a great commentator, and he's very active in the horror scene. He has a website called Son of Celluloid. He gets a lot of hits and everything. Well, he is in this movie, Frankenstein Created Bikers. And he told me that he would love to be a guest on our podcast in the future to promote it. So
awesome.
Look out in future episodes. I don't know what episode it's going to be. You know, he's busy right now. They're releasing it
this summer.
Yeah, no, it's April 3rd.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
that's
or April 2nd.
Next week.
It's WrestleMania weekend. They're releasing it.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's going to be busy with that for a little bit.
We'll
After that, he wants to get on.
Washington.
Yeah, he wants to get on the show. So
I'm about that.
What else you got this week?
More from South by Southwest. A couple weeks ago, I had talked about the Beware the Slender Man documentary that HBO put together. It debuted at South by Southwest. It's getting really, really good reviews, and they have clarified what the movie is actually about.
The girls, right? The killings?
Yeah. It's actually an attempted murder. They didn't actually kill the girl. They stabbed the shit out of her and left her for dead, and then tried to walk 300 miles home. And that's where they got picked up. So
the Slender Man saved him. He picked him up with his giant hands,
his wide arms, and wide enough to hug the world. But what the documentary focuses on is the attempted murder, and how it affected the families of the girls who committed the attempted murder. Unfortunately, the family of the victim was not involved in the production. They didn't want anything to do with it. But it also goes into how internet legends are spread and the effects of internet memes on society.
I don't think that the Slender Man had anything to do with those little girls doing that shit. I'll go on record saying that. No, I gotta watch the documentary. You know, people are gonna do shit because they're gonna do it.
Yeah.
Maybe you get your ideas, but you can't blame your fucked upness, your fucked up head on the Slender Man.
No, not at all.
Of all things,
So the documentary is going to be debuting on HBO in late spring, early summer, which is actually the same time the trial of the two girls ends. So there's also talk of potentially adding extra footage to it of the trial and what actually happened there.
Why can't you just say God told me to, like everybody else? God told me to. Jesus was telling me all about it, what I need to do.
That's where I blame everything on. I gotta take a shit. God told me to.
Yeah, I mean, stop running the Slender Man's name in the mud. Yeah. Come on, girls.
Poor guy.
Poor Slender Man never did anything to you.
Yeah.
All right, so my last piece of horror news this week. You hear about Jeepers Creepers 3? It's going to be.
Yeah, I've been reading about the controversy surrounding that.
Yeah, I did not know about this fucker. So
I knew about it.
Gina Phillips going to be reprising her role as a sister. You know, she was a sister in the first one, the hot sister, the guy that got his eyes cut out.
I really liked the first one.
Yeah, me too. Until I found out that this guy that makes these movies is a convicted child molester.
He actually molested a kid on the set of one of his movies.
On the set of one of his
movies.
Not
Jeepers Creepers, called Clown House or something like that.
Yeah, I'd never seen that movie, but I found this out, and it disturbed me.
Yeah.
And not in the way I like to be disturbed.
Not in the cool way.
Yeah, no. As a father myself, I will not be supporting this movie.
Well, he's not involved in the third movie, though.
Yeah, I heard he is.
They pulled in a new director for it.
Oh, all right. Well,
what he is involved in, though, is they're doing a Blu-ray release of the first two movies, and he's involved in that.
Well, you can't. I mean, the movies are already out there.
Yeah.
You can't ban Jeepers Creepers because the guy. But they should not let this guy direct the fucking movie. Why give the funding to that guy?
Right.
You know, that's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know, they did it. Maybe they didn't know about it. Maybe they didn't know what happened. You can't pull it because of that.
Yeah.
That's like saying no Chris Benoit.
Right.
You know, you can't do that.
It's the whole situation where you have to differentiate the art from the artist in the past. But once the artist has established himself as a dirtbag, then you have to have your standards of decency.
Exactly. Like, if no one knew about it and it came out later, it doesn't mean you can't watch Jeepers Creepers and enjoy it. But the fact that everyone knows about it now and they're making a third one, that's what makes me not want to see it. So, yeah. So, fuck you, Victor Salva.
Fuck that guy.
Yeah.
Unless you're a little boy. Don't fuck that guy.
Yeah, don't do it.
No.
Stay away from him if you're a little boy. We're going to hell. And we'll be back after this quick word from our sponsor,
Amazon. Hi, thanks for listening to the Postmortem Podcast. If you want to support us, go to our website at www.postmortemshow.com and click the Amazon link.
By clicking on the Amazon banner, Amazon will give a small percentage of the purchase price of your item back to the Postmortem podcast at no additional cost to you. That's right. Doesn't cost you any money, we get money. You want us to keep doing this? You want more Doug Jones talk? You want more dick and fart talk? I don't care. We're going to do it.
Fund our filthy, filthy habits.
Yes, and they are many and they are fast.
And most of them aren't legal.
Yes. Click the banner. Just do it.
Come on, don't be a dick. Give us money.
Well, we're back with Postmortem.
Hi. Hi, JD.
Hi. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm pretty good. I'm working on my 5th beer here in the
Nice.
B-Ward, so feeling pretty good. Feeling pretty loose.
Nice. I'm admiring these
Loosey
beautiful new
goosey.
microphones that our Amazon click-through has enabled us to buy.
You know what they look like? You ever play that game Portal? You know the little guy that talks to you and he's got a British accent and he floats around?
Yeah.
That's what I thought. That made me like them even more.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So now is the time, like every week, we go to a segment we like to call The Good Movie and the Bad Movie.
It's time for the good movie. And the bad movie.
I don't know if it'll ever get old.
I don't think it will.
Like I said last time, you guys, these new little things we're going to play before our segments, if you can make a better one, send it on in. Send that bitch on our way. We'll put it on the show.
We'll slather it up in butter and rub it all over ourselves.
Yes, we will. So, you got a good movie this week?
I got a good movie and a bad movie.
Is it a really good movie?
It's a pretty good movie, yeah.
Okay, then I'll go first. That way you can wrap it up.
Okay.
I like my good movie, but if you think yours is really good, we'll end with that. So,
Okay.
my bad movie of the week, Hangman. You heard of this?
I don't know.
Hangman, 2015,
No.
directed by Adam Mason, starring Jeremy Sisto. You know who that is?
Yeah, from like the 80s, yeah.
Yeah, he was in Hideaway,
Yeah.
that Dean Koontz adaptation. He was in Dead and Breakfast, which I
Yeah,
love.
that's a great movie.
6 Feet Under.
Yeah.
I gave it a chance because I'm a fan of his. I love home invasion movies.
Mm-hmm.
I love funny games. I love Inside, which I made you watch. Right?
Home invasion movies are actually the only movies that really actually scare me on like a fundamental level.
Yeah, because
they're
it's
so
more
realistic.
like realistic. Yeah. So they're disturbing, and this was a disturbing movie, but it took a long time for it to be disturbing.
Okay.
Just as we talk about, there's a lot of shit. Trim the fat, people. So, enough with the found footage. This is a found footage movie. This guy breaks into a family's home. Then he puts webcams all over the home. In very obvious places to where I feel like you would see it. Like in the top corner of a room.
Okay.
You know, you wouldn't
Yeah, they
you
have
notice
lights on
that?
them and shit, yeah.
Yeah, he does put it like in vents and stuff. And does kind of explain it a little bit, but...
Is Jeremy Sisto the break-in guy, or is he
No, he's the family man.
Oh, okay.
He's the dad. Yeah. And he finds his daughter's dildo.
Wow.
Yeah, after that's the most disturbing part
Yeah.
to me.
That's some existential horror right there.
It is. So, the shitty camera work, because it is a found footage movie and it's supposed to be like webcams, I thought I was going to hate it, just based on that alone. The home invader is also a cameraman. He does walk around with the camera as well when people are sleeping.
Is he Chrome Skull?
He's not Chrome Skull. It's not embedded in his face or anything like that. But so he ransacks the house. He eats their food, and he puts all the dishes on the counter. Like, he makes himself several meals. He stays there for a couple days while they're on vacation. Makes himself several meals and puts all the dishes on the center console, like the kitchen island.
What a dick.
So when they come back, he doesn't even do the fucking dishes. When they come back, they know, the whole house is ransacked. They call the cops. Cops come. He gets this all on film. Like the cops and everything. Because no one notices the fucking webcams,
Okay.
right? First problem I have is, like I said, cameras all over the house. How you're not going to know they're there,
Yeah.
It's over half an hour of the family just going about their business after the break-in until anything happens. I get the character build, but... And then another half hour before it escalates even more, so... the Hangman isn't really bad. He's really creepy, actually.
Okay, he's the bad guy. I
Yeah.
assume. Okay.
Yeah. He wears a shitty blank mask. He steals women's lipstick and puts it on and lives in their attic and beats off to watching the parents having sex and has pictures of the family all over his little attic corner. It's like a little corner of the attic where the rafters kind of come up like a V, so he's in one little like teepee kind of section with bunch of computer monitors. I don't know how he's powering them, or why they don't see the extension cord.
It's creepy if you think about it. Like,
yeah,
but at the same time, unbelievable.
Well, the good news about him being creepy is he cries while he's beating off. That's creepy.
That's points right there.
Yeah, that's some creepy points. You know, and he cries and screams a lot just when he's alone. And the problem for me was the lack of action in this movie. The setup, premise is fine. It just takes forever to deliver. With that said, it's not a long movie. You know, I can't remember exactly how long it is. It's like an hour and a half. Maybe it's less, like an hour and 20. But they could have trimmed the fat or went harder, faster. Right. You know, and I would have liked it a lot more. The last 20 minutes is the best part. It's worth watching for the last 20 minutes, but I cannot say it's a good movie.
Okay. Fast forward to the last half hour or so.
Well, no, watch it. I mean, you could watch it if you're bored, you know. You can do a lot worse than Hangman, you know. So that's why it's my bad movie of the week, because I can't say it's a good movie.
Okay.
But it's not terrible because he's crying while he's jerking off.
Right. That's important.
It is.
Yeah.
I do it all the time.
I think that should be our rating system.
Edit that part off. I don't do it.
What part do you speak of, JD?
The part where I said I cry and masturbate.
Oh, okay.
So what rating system is that?
Our rating system could be masturbatory tears.
Masturbatory tears. I love it. So IMDb gives it 4.6 stars out of 10.
Okay.
I give it 5.2 masturbatory tears.
It's not too bad. It's,
you know,
we've had worse.
It's a good lubricant. Yeah. Tears. I like to use the tears of my enemies, though.
Yeah.
When I beat off.
I don't even have anything to say about that.
All right, so what's your bad movie of the week?
My bad movie is a 2015 movie called Hell and Back. And it's a stop-motion animation movie. Directed by...
I just added that, actually. Yeah? I wanted to watch it with my kids. Is it kid-friendly?
No, not at all.
Oh, okay.
It's directed by a guy named Tom Giannis, who co-created the Nick Swardson show on Comedy Central.
I love Nick Swardson, but the show's not great.
Nick Swardson is hilarious.
Yeah.
Like, his independent stuff, he just doesn't do good work. Tom Giannis, he's one of the voices.
Hey, Dom. Want to see my watch?
Ask me what time it is. Yeah, Tom Giannis directed this. Nick Swardson is one of the main voices. Mila Kunis is one of the voices. Bob Odenkirk, Susan Sarandon, Danny McBride. It's got a good cast.
I'm going to watch it just based on that cast, but elaborate, please.
The imagery on it is cool. The puppets in it are cool. There are a few chuckles in it. Like, there's some jokes in it. The best joke in it is there's this one demon in hell who's just shitty at punishment. And, like, he sets up a booth that says Taco Bell and Pizza Hut, and the lost souls come to order Pizza Hut, and he's like, sorry, we just have Taco Bell. Isn't that torturous? It's a running joke where he just keeps coming up with these shitty tortures, and that's probably my favorite part of the movie.
And we're all out of fire sauce.
that sort of thing. But the problem is, first of all, it has a thing where almost everyone in the cast is an unlikable douchebag.
I hate that. It needs to go away.
Yeah. Second of all, the characters are very inconsistent. Like, they start out like they're going to be cool, and then they become douchebags. And it really feels like they just sort of sat down and made it up as they went along, and then animated over whatever the fuck they said.
Yeah.
There's a structure to it. There's a story to it. It's about these guys who work at a boardwalk kind of amusement thing. They're carnival barkers there, and one of them does maintenance and stuff. And they find this book called the Book of Lucifer, and one of the buddies swears an oath on the Book of Lucifer to give some gum back to the other guy, and then he breaks the oath and gets pulled into hell, and they have to go to hell and go get him. So it's the tale of Orpheus. But it's just basically a running douchebag bro joke.
Okay.
And not that funny, and not very kid-friendly at all. I think what they were trying to do is they were trying to make that Dia de los Muertos movie or Corpse Bride or Nightmare Before Christmas strictly for adults, and they didn't capture any of the things that make those movies good, which is like the soul and the heart of the movie. It didn't have any.
Yeah, you can have a tearful, happy ending or a good moral of the story and still be a good movie for adults.
Yeah, you can take all of that and lace it with dick and fart jokes all day and all night, and it can be funny. But they failed at it. They just didn't really have a point. So I'm going to give Hell and Back 4 out of 10 masturbatory tears.
Only 4, huh?
Yeah.
That's 4. So are we talking about, when we talk about masturbatory tears, I like to imagine, this is what I imagine in my head. Is it 4 individual tears dripping down from your eye to your dick? Is that out of 10? Or is it 4, like, is a quantity like 10 would be a gushing overflow of tears?
I think it's
and
a
double-handed beating off.
And you watch each tear fall in slow motion onto the dick before the jerking off happens. And in this case, it was just like, ping, 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 ping. And that was it.
All right, so 4 out of 10 masturbatory tears. Our rating systems just get worse and worse.
Yeah.
But we're always going to change them. So, all right, so good movies. We talked a lot about, I don't know if it was on the air or off the air, we talked a lot about What We Do in the Shadows.
Mm-hmm.
And you loved it, and I loved it.
Great movie.
I watched another mockumentary.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not a huge fan of the mockumentary. I love What We Do in the Shadows.
Mm-hmm.
I love Spinal Tap.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot name that many more. Best in Show is kind of funny. Dogs using that.
You ever see Drop Dead Gorgeous?
Uh-uh.
That movie is hilarious.
It's a mockumentary?
It's a mockumentary about beauty pageants.
Oh.
And it's fucked up. There's beauty queens vomiting everywhere and blood and explosions and people being set on fire. It's good. It's my favorite comedy.
Oh, sweet. Well, if it's your favorite comedy, I'll check it out. But not too much for the beauty pageants. So, my good movie of the week is a mockumentary. It's called Digging Up the Marrow. Have you seen it?
No.
2014, directed by Adam Green, who made
That's
Hatchet.
a familiar name. Oh, Hatchet.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. I went into it knowing nothing about it. I
Okay.
did not know it was a mockumentary. It's Adam Green. It starts off at a horror con with cameos by Odorous Ungress,
My man.
Lloyd Kaufman,
Tattooed on my arm.
John Coscarelli, Tony Todd, Kane Hodder in interviews. And
That's a good cast.
Yeah,
A
well,
good
no,
list
that's
of-
cameos
list-
at the
list
very
of
beginning.
people,
They're
yeah.
not the cast.
Right,
It's
okay.
the beginning of the movie. No, they're yeah. So I'm a big fan of documentaries, but not so much the mockumentaries.
Most of those, Tony Todd and Kane Hodder, they were all involved in Hatchet.
I think they were. Yeah.
Tony Todd was the voodoo bus
Yeah.
driver guy, yeah.
Yeah, so, and you know, you're going to interview your friends at the HorrorCon, obviously, right? So yeah, it started out like this. Adam Green, the director of Hatchet, is the biggest on-screen character in this movie. Because
Okay.
he's doing, like, this documentary, but he is actually on screen.
Okay.
You know, and he does take up a good portion of the movie, which you could call it a little bit narcissistic if you wanted to. I don't. In this case, I really like it.
Okay.
I really like it because it seems like he's filming a documentary.
Okay.
So he receives a package from a retired cop and self-proclaimed monster hunter named William Decker, played by Ray Wise. You know who that is?
Yeah, from Twin Peaks.
Yeah, Twin Peaks, RoboCop.
He was
Bunch of
in.
beaters.
He was the principal in Excision.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, and he was just in. I watched that other movie. I'll leave that for another review after Excision. Maybe by the same director. It's called Suburban Gothic.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't say it was a good or a bad movie. I like the characters, the movie itself. Yeah. Anyways, so this guy played by Ray Wise sends him all this shit saying he has found monsters and wants him to film a story. And he sympathizes with the monsters. He doesn't think they're bad, just different. And Ray Wise is fucking awesome in this role. He does such a good job.
He's a great actor.
Yeah.
He plays crazy really well. Is he crazy in this?
You could think he's... At first, everyone thinks he's crazy.
Okay.
But then you start to realize he's right.
Okay.
He has found the monsters. It's called Digging Up the Marrow, and they're in the marrow. That's where they go. That's the place they go, in the ground.
Okay.
People who are deformed and born different, they retreat there.
Like
That's where
like
they live as
Nightbreed.
monsters.
They go to Midian.
It is like Nightbreed, yeah. So, they doubt him, and they're like, well, let's film it anyway. It'll be a comedy, you know. We'll film this fucking crazy
Nut
guy,
job.
yeah. Till they actually see one of the monsters themselves. Get a little shot of it on video. The movie itself has a silly fucking soundtrack, and I love it.
Okay.
The music is funny. You know?
Okay.
It's one of those kind of off the wall musics that don't really go with what it's going, and I like it a lot.
Okay.
So. We find out that the monster hunter himself, you know, he sent in all this footage, fan mail to Adam Green. Well, he went through every single other horror director. This is where, you know, when you say, like, you put yourself in the movie and you're the main part, it's narcissistic. No, because
He's being
buries
self-deprecating,
himself.
yeah.
Yeah, he's so self-deprecating at the end because he goes to, like, another horror convention and he finds out by telling these other directors, I think he's talking to Tom Holland or Mick Garris, one of the two.
Okay.
He's talking to him about it and he's like, wait, are you talking about the monsters guy? Hey, come over here. And it's either he gets the other guy to come over here, and they both are like, yeah, he sent it too. And then he finds out that he sent it to everyone. All the major horror directors. And only Adam Green responded because he's like on the lower end of the major horror directors.
Right.
So that I really love that, like little tongue-in-cheek kind of, you know.
You got to make fun of yourself.
Yeah, making fun of yourself, you know. And that was really good. And there's a grand reveal closer to the end and a bunch of awesome monsters. I love the creature.
Nice.
It's good.
Good practical
I don't think
costumes.
I'd have to look it up, but I don't think there's a lot of CGI in this movie.
Okay.
I think it's a lot of tentacles and
nice.
you know, things like that. And it's there's not a lot of instances of the monsters. It's a lot of build up. It's a lot of comedy. It's a lot of in between, but it's good.
Cool.
It'll keep you entertained. I went into it. I heard some bad things about it. First off, before I watched it, it's got some bad reviews. IMDb rates it at 5.8.
It's not too good.
Not too good, you know. But I went into it instantly. I loved it.
Nice.
Yeah, within I was like, please be good. This is you know, so good at first, and you know, some people might not like it. I liked it a lot. I'm not a big fan of the mockumentaries, but he did a great fucking job, and it's really funny.
Cool. Is this on Netflix?
No, I don't think it is on Netflix.
Okay.
I'll let you borrow it if you want.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll let you borrow the DVD. So IMDb gives it a 5.8. I'm gonna give it 7.5.
Wow.
Masturbatory tears.
That's 7 tears falling on a dick and then one falling through midair, but then it cuts off, and we're left to wonder if it landed or if it was on the floor.
One for each inch and 4.5 extras.
Cool. Cool.
What's your good movie of the week?
My good movie is one that I'd seen before, and I believe you and I have talked about outside of this. And I went back and watched it night before last because I just was thinking about the opening effect sequence and how it was so good, and also thinking about Monica Bellucci running around naked. Anyway, it's a French film called Irreversible.
Oh yeah,
in 2002. You've seen this, right?
Yes, I love Irreversible.
Yeah. And it is
fucking fire extinguisher.
Yeah, the opening scene with a guy being beaten all the fuck with a fire extinguisher is fucking brutal.
It is, and it's so good. It's so practical.
Yep.
It's
and
awesome.
Looks like it's done in one take, though I don't think it actually was.
Yeah,
but
they cheated.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they cheated a little bit.
But it does look good. It's directed by a guy named Gaspar Noé, who did a lot of French music videos.
Dude, I have all of his movies.
Really?
He's got this movie, Into the Void. Pretty sweet.
Okay.
I'm not going to spoil it because I plan on reviewing that. That's probably going to be my next good movie.
Okay.
Even though it's not a horror movie, it's very disturbing.
Cool.
He has a lot of good movies.
This isn't technically a horror movie either. It's more on the exploitation spectrum.
Yeah.
But
it's still, I mean, horror, exploitation.
It's horrific.
It's all,
yeah. The cool thing about it is the whole story is told backwards. So it begins at the end and then works its way back to the beginning.
Yeah.
So
it's like Memento.
Yeah.
It's like a better version of Memento.
Yeah.
Memento is alright, but it's like, it was so much better because it was backwards and no one had ever seen anything like that.
Right.
You know, and that's why it was so famous at the time. I don't think the story was as good as the way they told it. And this is a good story.
It's very well done, and it has a very cool sort of disorienting quality as it goes back in time from scene to
and
scene.
the credits are like bending.
Yeah.
The credits are bending, making you tilt your head.
Yeah. There is a very, very graphic 10-minute long rape scene in this movie. So if you don't like that kind of stuff, you may want to avoid that.
I wouldn't avoid this movie though. If you're listening to this podcast, I mean,
the rape scene exists for a reason. It's not.
It's a great movie.
Yes.
Please don't spoil the ending and all that kind of parts, but it's a great movie. I want everyone to watch this movie.
Yeah.
It's worth it, you know, and
really,
it's worth
really
watching by yourself when you can pay attention to it and sit through it in one sitting.
Yeah, it is something that you have to really kind of watch so you can watch all the pieces fall into place. But when they do, it's just so well done and so well made. It has a great soundtrack. It's a great use of light and shadow. I'm giving it 8 out of 10 masturbatory tears.
And I would give it 8.5 myself.
Since
I've seen this movie too. Normally we don't see anything, and we're rating these movies we haven't seen usually. And we don't communicate whatsoever about what each other's good and bad movie is going to be.
Right.
So you don't know if I've seen it, and I don't know if you've seen it. But in this case, I'll rate it myself as well. 8.5.
8.5. Yeah.
Have you seen I Stand Alone, also by Gaspar Noé?
I have not.
Okay, that's another one you're going to watch.
We're going to have a viewing party?
We're going to have a viewing party. We're going to watch I Stand Alone.
Okay. And Into the Void.
Yeah.
That's the other one.
Enter the Void.
Enter the Void.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's pretty fucked up too.
Cool.
It's about a guy who dies of a drug overdose, and then he's like a ghost, and he like first person's around and shit.
Cool.
Yeah. It's weird.
Nice.
He's got a lot of fucked up movies. I Stand Alone is fucked up.
Nice.
It's like Irreversible probably takes the cake. It'll probably be his always most well-known movie.
Irreversible just
was
has two really fucked up scenes,
Yeah.
and then everything else is why those scenes exist.
but they're so fucked up.
They're so fucked up, yeah.
But I Stand Alone might be worse.
Wow.
Or on par. It's older.
Okay.
I think it's like 1999 or some shit.
Okay.
Yeah. He's been at it for a while.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, he's an older guy.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Irreversible. So.
The French are just churning them out, or they were. I don't know. I haven't seen anything recently. But
I actually just like 2 days ago, there's a movie called Love that he directed that's on Netflix. It just hit Netflix. It's called Love.
Mm-hmm.
The opening scene is just some girl jacking off some guy, full on dick being jacked off like straight, and it's just like a porn. It's not, and there's no brutality.
Mm-hmm.
I watched it. I watched probably half an hour of it, and it's like, okay, well, I'd rather watch porn. You know what I mean. And it's not brutal like Irreversible, I Stand Alone and stuff. So I'm like, come on, what the fuck are you doing?
it's just graphic sex.
Yeah, it's just graphic sex. It's just dicks.
Okay.
It's like Nymphomaniac. Have you ever seen that?
That's yeah.
But Nymphomaniac is awesome.
Nymphomaniac is.
It's a great
crazy.
story. It's a good story. Yeah. You know, this is like that. It's just like, oh, we're showing dicks on Netflix. Ha ha ha.
Right.
Got away with it. We're calling it a movie. You know, that's basically what that movie Love is. But I will still
get
see.
away with it.
I will still see everything that Gasper makes.
Yeah.
Because I know he's going to go back to those dark places eventually. So.
Nice.
Okay, so that was horror news and the good and bad movie of the week. We're going to take one last short break.
You got to listen to this commercial, guys. It's real important.
It is. It's very important.
It's the most important commercial you'll ever listen to.
It is. No, the Amazon one is.
Yeah, but I make $5 off of this commercial.
I know. Yeah.
My album's coming out April 1st. You should buy it.
I'm gonna want $1.25 out of that $5. Anyways, we're gonna go to break, and we'll be back with the top 5 torture scenes.
Oh yeah.
Coming April 1st, 2016. A dark ambient experiment in audio necromancy. Mechanical Ghost presents Ars Moriendi Volume 1, Stepping Sideways and Descending. For more information, visit www.mechanicalghost.com.
Okay, we are back on Postmortem. And we're back!
We're back.
So, we reached out last show. We said, if nobody says anything that we like, we're going to go with the top 5 devils and demons.
Right.
But our faithful listener, Jeremy Bryant.
What up, Jeremy?
Hi, Jeremy. How you doing? Anyways, he's listened to all the episodes. He said, no, guys, you should do the top 5 torture scenes. And he sent in his list, which we're going to read.
Oh, he did?
Yeah,
I didn't know about that.
He sent me his list, and I said, I'm not going to read it until after we do our list.
Okay.
We'll do our honorable mentions. We'll read his list.
Cool. I'll be curious to see what he comes up with.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's cool to have fans send in stuff for the show. You know, you guys, if you listen to this and you have an idea for a top 5, you can send it to postmortemshow@gmail.com.
Right.
You can send it to our Facebook.
Twitter.
Well, do you check the Twitter?
I check the Twitter.
Okay,
It comes to my phone.
I've never even seen it.
Okay.
Do
We have like 3 followers.
Okay, yeah. Twitter is the least effective. Facebook probably would be the best one.
Yeah.
Or if you want to send an email, we both get that. So, all right. So, top 5 torture scenes.
Yep.
You want to go first?
Yeah. This one was hard because there are a lot of great torture scenes out there, but not all of them are in horror movies.
I agree.
Yes.
That's why a lot of my honorable mentions, not a horror movie.
Yeah, a lot of crime dramas, a lot of action movies,
film
gritty
noir.
movies. So I tried really hard to keep most of mine in the realm of horror and exploitation.
Oh yeah.
And I actually think my entire top 5 list is horror or exploitation, and then everything in my honorable mention is still crime dramas because there's some great ones out there still.
I would be very surprised if we don't have any crossover.
Yeah, I could see where there might be a couple. So we'll see.
All right.
Yeah. So my number 5 comes from one of my favorite directors of all time, Takashi Miike.
Takashi Mike, our buddy
Takashi
Mike.
Our buddy Mike.
Our buddy Mike. Michael Takashi. Takashi Michael.
Takashi Michel in France. And it's the piano wire torture scene from Audition.
All right.
Where she's putting it in his face and just running it through him and fucking him up. It's just... Takashi Miike has a lot of good torture scenes. Ichi the Killer has a great torture scene with hooks. All of... what was his movie called that he did for Masters of Horror?
Imprint.
That whole thing was a torture scene, pretty much.
Yeah.
He has another movie called Gozu that has some great torture scenes in it. But for some reason, the piano wire torture in Audition really kind of resonated with me. It was just so creepy, and like her demeanor while she was doing it, because she was so calm.
Very happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like she was in a good place while it was happening.
Gozu sounds like something that I would eat, like some kind of vegetarian
It means cowhead in Japanese.
Never mind.
Yeah.
It's not a sounds like a vegetarian food. Definitely not. Anyways, so is that your number 5?
That's my number 5.
My number 5, Hammer to the Teeth. Old boy.
Yeah, that was an honorable mention.
Hammer teeth extraction. Gonna pull them out.
I love the sound that they use in that as it's and then the blood coming out of the gums.
What's your thoughts on the remake?
I didn't even bother with it.
Bother with it.
Really?
It doesn't touch the original. But for being a mainstream American film, I thought it was actually really well done.
Really?
It was good. It didn't piss me off.
Okay.
You know how I feel about remakes.
Yeah.
Remakes usually make me very mad.
And I love the original version so much.
I do too. But that new version, it's all right. It's pretty good.
I'll save it for a rainy day.
Worth your hour and 45 minutes or whatever it is. So yeah, Hammer to the Teeth from good old boy.
Nice.
Did you know? I didn't realize this till today. Did you know the guy who is Old Boy is also in I Saw the Devil? He's the bad guy in I Saw the Devil.
Yeah.
I never really realized that.
Yeah. I think it's around.
All right. Number 4.
Number 4 is an Italian film called Salo. Have you heard of this?
Yes.
Yeah, you've heard of this? It's directed by Pasolini, who's like a legendary Italian art film director. And it's basically 120 Days of Sodom set in Nazi-fascist Italy. And there's a lot of torture in this movie, a lot of shit-eating, a lot of really weird, fucked up shit. But the ending of the movie is pure fucking art. Where they've got the kids out in the open area, and they're cutting their tongues out, and they're scooping their eyes out, and they're breaking their teeth, and all the libertine people are watching them taking turns through the telescope.
Did you know that he was murdered after making this movie, the director?
Pasolini was?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that. But the thing that makes it so great is there's no sound. You can only see it happening, and you can't hear any of it.
That
you
almost
see
makes
their
the effect
expressions.
sometimes better.
Yeah.
Like, if it's fake and there's no sound, sometimes it makes it better.
Yeah, I've never really seen anything like that in any other movie, but the way he did that was so great. And then afterwards, the two guards get up and just waltz with each other, and then the movie ends.
Yeah.
Great torture scene.
Great torture scene. That movie's a hard watch. Hard to get through.
Yeah. Real fucking rough. I did not... He was murdered after making that.
Yeah.
Wow.
The more you know. Anyways.
We fucking deserved that.
My number 4, Martyrs.
Okay.
I mean, the girl in the basement. The Martyrs. Is
just
my
Martyrs
number
in
4.
itself.
Just Martyrs.
Martyrs
is my number 4.
I put Martyrs on my honorable mention because it's the whole goddamn movie. Or at least the last half of the movie.
I have something like that coming up.
Yeah.
My number 1.
Nice. And my number 1's pretty much like that too. I'm curious if we're gonna have crossover on this. Yeah. I think we might.
Probably.
Yeah. Number 3.
Number 3.
Guinea Pig, Flower of Flesh and Blood.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Great movie.
Gotta see American Guinea Pig. You gotta check that out. Have you seen it?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
You recommended this movie before, though.
It is good. Practical effects. Very disgusting.
Nice. I'm actually going to go with the whole movie because it's a short film, and it's basically, like, the whole thing is just torture.
Yeah.
And it's very well done. It looks very real. Do you know the story about Charlie Sheen in this movie?
Yeah, that he called the FBI.
Yeah, I thought it was
called
real.
the FBI. It's real.
Yeah,
he's probably on the height of his cocaine use and shit.
Yeah, probably.
Oh my god, yeah, FBI. They're torturing people.
And the director actually had to come forward.
I don't want my goddesses to watch this.
They're not winning. The director had to come forward with the actors and like the video of how they did the special effects and all that. And
fucking ridiculous.
Prove
Charlie Sheen, shut the fuck up.
But It
He
is
probably
very
got AIDS
realistic.
from calling the FBI.
Probably.
They transmitted it to him
Through the phone.
Sorry, Charlie. That was a little low.
Yeah, you can't get AIDS from a phone. You can get it from a toilet seat, though. That's what I heard.
Yeah, probably a good excuse.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, wife. I gave you AIDS. It was from the toilet seat.
Well, I was in a public restroom when I got it.
All right, my number 3 is a tie between 2 movies,
Okay.
which you have mentioned both of them.
Okay.
Imprint
Uh-huh.
and Audition.
Okay.
Imprint, the needles in the hands.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Super fucked up.
Super fucked up. Audition, same kind of thing with
Yeah.
the needles and the piano wire.
Yep.
I knew we were going to have some crossover. You've already mentioned 2 of mine
Yeah.
that I'm going to let you know about.
Nice.
And I love both of those movies. Imprint is so strong. It got banned. It didn't get released in the series. You know that, right?
Yeah.
It's only on DVDs and stuff. Such a great little short movie. Yeah.
Real fucked
It's
up.
only an hour long because it's Masters of Horror, but it is a great horror movie. You know what else is a good Masters of Horror? Cigarette Burns. You see that?
Yeah,
one?
that one's good.
That one's really
Yeah.
good too. Yeah.
I actually
and
really
also
like
Right to Life.
I like Jennifer.
That one's pretty good too. Right to Life. You seen that one?
Yeah,
The abortion clinic.
yeah.
And the aliens and little lobster babies crawling around.
Yeah. Yeah, that was like it was like the
baby.
Twilight Zone, but worse. It was great.
Yeah, I really liked. I liked Masters of Horror and Fear itself, featuring the Dukes, the Wendigo.
Yeah, you showed me that one.
Yeah, that's a great fucking show. Fear itself is a spin-off of Masters of Horror. So,
Doug
all right,
Jones.
that's my number 3.
Number 2 for me is August Underground Mortem. The scene where the guy is forced to castrate himself in front of his girlfriend.
I like that part.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny.
It's a fucked up scene.
I find it hilarious.
Yeah.
I love August Underground. I mean, people say what you either love it or you hate it.
I liked Mortem. The other two,
Mortem's the best one
yeah.
to me.
The first one
is
he didn't quite he didn't have his bearings yet.
I think the first one is my second place. Mortem's the best, and the second one's the third place to me.
Also, the Crust's brother, what was his name? Maggot, the mentally disturbed brother in Mortem that fucks a little girl corpse and eats the piece
That
of
is the
baby
most
and all
one
that.
of the most convincing effects.
Yeah.
Of that corpse. Ugh.
But his character
disgusting.
really,
It's hard to watch.
Yeah, it's real hard to watch. But his character really added to that movie too. It added another dimension to it,
Yeah.
where it wasn't just Peter and Crust running around saying "fuck" and killing people. There was
Yeah.
actually this element of real insanity with him.
But that movie has a realism.
Yeah,
All
very
of it.
much so. Very much so.
That like I mean you could call it found footage, I guess, because they're shooting it.
Yeah,
You know, it could pass. A lot of it's them shooting it with the camera, and
Right.
shit, but
it feels like something you're not supposed to be watching.
it does. And the fact that it's all grainy and shit.
Yeah,
I'm a big fan.
Yeah.
August Underground. My number 2, another whole movie, The Girl Next Door, and I'm not talking about the Playboy.
right.
I'm talking about based on the book by Jack Ketchum.
Yep.
Girl Next Door, one of my favorite horror movies in recent memory. If you call it a horror movie, I mean, it is basically just torture, and it's not really like what defines horror, because that's fucking horrific.
Yeah, it is.
You know, so some of the movies we're going to talk about on this podcast, I'm not going to say some of my honorable mentions are horror just because part of the movie is terrifying, but Girl Next Door is a horror movie.
Yeah.
And that is brutal as fuck.
Yeah.
And the actors, the little boy, great. The girl who was the girl next door, great.
Yeah, they really
But
pulled everyone together for that.
the best one is the mom. Creepy as fuck.
Yeah.
The mom who does the torturing, the looks on her face as she orders him to do shit. You guys gotta check out The Girl Next Door. If you haven't seen it, if you love yourself some torture, of innocent little girl like I do, I mean,
If you love jerking off with the tears of innocent little girls.
no, I won't go that far. Tears of My Enemies, yes. Not the other one. So, anyways,
Number
Girl
1.
Next Door, Jack Ketchum, one of my favorite authors.
Yeah. How does the movie hold? Because I've never read the story. How does the movie hold up to the story?
It's pretty good. The movie's great. It's a great movie. There's a couple little things compared to the book, but I mean, to me, the book is better. Jack Ketchum is that kind of author to where they're making his movies. The Woman, The Lost, Offspring, Red, Girl Next Door. They've made these movies, and they're all good. It's not like Stephen King, to where 1 out of 10 movies is good.
Right.
They're really good, but he's that level of brutality in some of his descriptions in the books
Yeah.
that movies cannot get an R rating to be that.
You can't go there
Even if
without
it's
being
unrated.
NC-17.
Yeah, even if it was NC-17, I don't know if they could get studios behind it.
And that's the thing, because if you wanted to make a movie that's that level of gory and you want it to look good,
Well,
and you don't want to do it with like grainy footage
Yeah.
like August Underground does it, you need some backing.
They try to do it. Ralph James White is my favorite author of all time. I've read almost every single one of his books. I'm a huge fan of him. One of his stories has been made into a movie. It was called The Resurrectionist, but they made it into a movie called Come Back to Me. It's on Netflix.
Yeah, I've seen
right
that.
now.
Yeah.
And it's about the guy who breathes life back into him and he rapes him and stuff, and kills him and goes back the next day and does it again, does it again. The book is the most brutal, disturbing thing I've ever fucking read. Besides Succulent Prey, his other book. That's probably the only thing. But the movie, it's not. It's just not there. It's not disturbing like that.
Yeah.
It's a good movie if you watched it on Netflix and you didn't know what it was.
Yeah, it was decent.
Oh, it's pretty decent, you know. But
Conceptually, it was
it's
cool.
not conceptual because they're stealing the good part of the book and not delivering on the gore and
Right.
the brutality. I mean,
American Psycho was like that too.
American Psycho. I love the movie.
It's a great movie, but it's nowhere near as brutal as the book.
Yeah, I have actually never read the book of American
It's-
Psycho.
I had to put the book down a couple times.
I gotta check it out. It's on my bucket list.
All I gotta say, you'll know when you get there, the hooker and the brie.
Okay. All right. I'm looking forward to it. So, yeah. Girl Next Door.
Cool. Number one is a movie that I saw because of you.
Okay.
I knew nothing about this movie until you told me about it, and you said it was one of the most fucked up movies you've ever seen. And goddamn, you were right. Regurgitated Sacrifice.
Oh yes, Regurgitated Sacrifice.
Now the whole movie is torture.
The whole movie's puking.
It's puke torture. Yeah,
It's
It's
pretty
fucked
fucking.
up.
Yeah, it's hard to watch.
But
It's
that
hard to
last
watch.
torture scene where they're puking on her and gutting her at the same time,
and then the dick comes a bunch
Yeah.
of blood. Yeah. I mean, you can spoil that movie. It's a bunch of people puking on each other and
bleeding and cutting
Terrible
off heads
rape
and
and-
wearing octopuses on their heads.
it's very, very graphic.
Yeah.
And
they're actually puking on each other.
if you're
There's
gonna,
no-
yeah, it's real.
It's not
Yeah,
special effects.
Besides the murder, it's real.
Yeah.
If you're gonna watch it, you better fucking be ready.
yeah, you got to
You
prepare
better be
yourself
ready.
for it. And the
one
thing
time I had, you weren't here that time because I made you watch it before. One time there's a bunch of people who were all drinking after one of the shows. So now I'm gonna hear a couple people. My fiance
okay,
was here.
right here in the B ward.
And yeah, right here in the B ward, probably about 5-6 people. Everyone's starting to kind of fall asleep, and I didn't say anything and just put it on.
That's fucked up.
Yeah,
Nice.
They did not enjoy it. I turned it off after about 20 minutes because it was like unbearable.
I
but-
guess the fact that your fiance is still with you speaks volumes about her after seeing
know,
that,
it
because
is.
I could think that a lesser woman might be like, oh, fuck this, I'm out.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, that is the most fucked up movie I've ever seen. And and the thing is, the movie has a lot of actual accurate occult symbolism in it. Lucifer Valentine's, the guy who directed it, he
Yeah.
knows his shit when it
Have
comes
you
to the
seen
occult.
it? He's got another one coming out.
Yeah,
Number 4.
there's a fourth one coming out, I heard, yeah.
Hitler, wizard, Nazis,
They've all got
zombie,
slaughtered vomit dolls,
Yeah.
and they've all got fucked up names.
slow puke torture chamber.
That
That's number
sounds like
3.
a Cannibal Corpse song. But yeah,
I haven't got my hands on number 4 yet. I'm looking forward to it.
when you get it, let me know. I'll come over and
I
watch
will.
it.
Yeah, we'll do a viewing party. But
Yeah. It's the
number
guy-
2, Regurgitated Sacrifice.
That's
is
the
number
best
2.
of the three, yeah.
And it is the best of the 3 by far.
Yeah, because the first one, he was still getting his
Just
footing.
puke,
He was
puke,
figuring-
puke.
And then
You know what it
Regurgitated
is
Sacrifice
after all.
takes the best parts of that movie and kind of rehashes them a little bit.
And makes it worse.
Yeah,
Ugh.
and then the third one was still good.
Okay, so if you're watching this, what I want you to do, I want you first to drink an entire bottle of whiskey. I want you second to go to the buffet and engorge yourself.
Everything. Drink some
everything.
orange juice afterwards. too.
Yeah. And then third, I want you to come home and watch Regurgitated Sacrifice.
Yeah.
And as you're spilling your guts on the floor, I want you to think of Postmortem.
And just give us a big old mental hug.
And give us a 5-star rating on iTunes right after.
Actually, you should go to Amazon.com through our link.
Order the movie.
Order the movie. And
Order
then,
your buffet pass
Yeah.
through Amazon. All right.
Also, order the trash can that you're going to be barfing in through Amazon.
My number 1. You already said it.
Okay.
Salo. or the 120 Days of Sodom.
Yeah.
The whole fucking movie. We have shit eating, rape, beatings, people weeing on each other. Do you want to go to a club where people weeing on each other? I'm old Greg. Anyway,
For some reason, every time I'm drunk and I've got to pee, I think of the dude's voice. Peace! Like it goes through my head.
So we have rape, beatings, people weeing on each other, deconnotation,
Yeah.
detonation, eye removal, genital burning, whipping, and just an overall good time.
Making naked people run around acting like dogs.
The guy, like I said, this was going to be my grand finale of these scenes. Is the director was killed under mysterious circumstances shortly after releasing this movie.
Crazy. I wonder who he pissed off.
The fucking fascists.
Yeah.
They came back for him.
Mussolini's ghost.
Yeah, Mussolini's ghost. Mussolini's ghost made him eat his spectral shit.
Wow.
All right, so
That sounds like the horny ghost of Osama bin Laden.
we hope you guys have enjoyed our top 5 torture scenes.
Do you have any honorable mentions?
I have a lot of honorable
I've got
mentions,
some
but
too.
Before
Wanna do
we go
Jeremy's
there,
first?
this list was suggested to us by Jeremy Bryant. I am going to pull up his list right now, and we're going to give you his top 5 torture scenes.
I'm legitimately curious about this.
Jeremy says, my top 5 torture scenes. Number 5, the scalping seat, Saw 4.
Okay.
You remember that?
Yeah.
I don't even think I watched Saw 4.
Yeah, yeah. That was good, yeah.
Yeah. Number 4, grocery basket cage, See No Evil. That's the one with Kane with the eyes.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of it. My favorite scene in that movie is when he pounds the cell phone down the chick's throat.
Yeah. It's a good movie.
Yeah, yeah.
It's the best like WWE Studios movie there's ever been, I would say.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely up there. I don't care what anyone says. I'm a big fan of The Condemned. That movie's hilarious.
Yeah, no, that's pretty good actually. Oh no, See No Evil 2. See No Evil.
I never saw
2.
the second one.
I didn't see it either, so that's why we don't know what it
Okay.
is. Number 3, Reverse Bear Trap. Saw.
That's classic.
That's a good one.
That's a classic
That's
right
a
there.
good one. Number 2 was my number 5, the tooth torture from Old Boy.
Okay.
And on both of our lists, his number 1, Audition torture, Audition.
Nice.
The piano wire. So thank you, Jeremy, for
Good list.
submitting your top 5 and giving us this topic. I hope you enjoyed the show, and I hope it was worth it to you to give us your topic and have us go over shit eating, people cutting on each other's tongues,
Puke.
a lot of puke,
A lot of puke.
a lot of fucked up shit. Jeremy, I didn't know you were so grimy.
Yeah, yeah. Points, bro.
You got points. Jeremy. So this has been Postmortem. You got anything else you want to say, Dom?
What are your honorable mentions?
Running a little short. Oh yeah. Fuck. Honorable mentions. This has not been Postmortem.
It's
We're
still
here.
Postmortem.
It's still Postmortem.
Presently.
My honorable mentions. Josh from Hostel. You know?
Yeah. That's actually on mine. That's the Achilles tendon kid, right?
Yes.
Yeah. That's a great ending to that scene where he's like, "Get up."
What do you feel about the I Spit on Your Grave remakes? The
Never saw
remake
them.
and the sequels. Really?
Yeah.
I like I Spit on Your Grave remake and the sequel and number 3. There's some fucking crazy killings.
Cool. I love the original.
I Spit on Your Grave remake, the castration, dick shoved in the mouth. It's in the original too. Left bleeding to die. There's a crotch electrocution in one of the sequels.
Nice.
And that's really good too. Then the spike in the mouth frying him. So they electrocute his crotch with this thing. At the end, they shove it in his mouth and it bubbles him up and gets him all electrocuted. It's pretty awesome.
That sounds awesome.
I don't know if it's kind of a torture because he goes through a lot of pain. But Frank in Hellraiser, when he's coming back alive with the blood in the mattress, and he's like,
It's a very torturous scene.
it is very. And then at the end,
And
when
that puppet was so good.
when he gets pulled apart by the hook. So
Yeah.
those two things of Frank, I would say.
wept.
Yeah.
Jesus wept.
Itchy the Killer hanging scene.
Great scene.
Knock Knock.
Haven't seen that one yet.
You gotta watch Knock Knock.
Yeah, you've recommended it a couple times.
I'm recommending it again. It's a fucked up mental torture.
Cool.
It's mental. It's
Okay.
not all physical.
Right.
Little minor physical torture. It's mental torture. These bitches are fucking nuts. Hard Candy, the castration.
Yeah. That's a fucked up scene.
I love Hard Candy.
Yeah.
The Passion of the Christ.
The whole last half of the movie, yeah.
And they say horror movies are bad. Have you read the Bible?
I have.
Oh, I haven't. I was just asking if you have.
Actually, I remember being in Hollywood Video when Passion of the Christ first came out on DVD, and this was in Goleta, which is down by Santa Barbara, and there's a UCSB is there. It's a college town. And this dude was in the video store with his girlfriend, and they were looking for something to watch, and I was in the same aisle as them, and he wants to get the Passion of the Christ. And she keeps saying, "But I don't understand the Bible." Like, just like that. Every time he's like, "Yeah, but if you watch the movie, maybe you'll understand." But I don't understand the Bible. It became a running thing for me for a while.
So then I got the head vice from Casino.
Oh, yeah. Eye popping out.
Yeah. Mr. Blonde, torturing the cop.
Yep.
Reservoir Dogs, the ear, the gasoline. We all know about that.
Yeah.
You ever seen Marathon Man?
Oh, yeah.
The dentist?
Yeah. Oh, fuck.
Not a horror movie, though.
Yeah.
The Messenger of Joan of Arc. There's a lot
Never
of
saw that
torture
movie.
going in on that. And then my final honorable mention, Little Alex and Clockwork Orange.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
fuck him up.
Oh, yeah. Big time. Most of my honorable mentions were actually either on your list or you mentioned them. Old Boy the Clawhammer, the surgeon scene in Hostel with the Achilles heels, the last quarter of Martyrs, Passion of the Christ, the Head Vice in Casino, Reservoir Dogs, Mr. Blonde. One that we didn't touch on, Compliance.
I love Compliance.
That whole movie is
It's not really.
it's mental
a mind
torture.
fuck,
It's
though.
mental
She has
torture.
a nice booty suit.
Yeah, she was cute.
Yeah.
She was cute.
Anyways.
I actually got mad watching that movie because of the people's response. But
Yeah.
then thinking about it, like that's how people would respond. It's a
You
true
know,
story.
it's based on a true story. Yeah. Fuck.
Yeah.
What a mind fuck. Yeah. That's a good one.
That-
That is torture.
Yeah, it was
It is
serious.
And to me,
psychological
it's also
torture.
torture of the manager of
Yeah.
the fast food. Yeah.
Yeah,
You guys should see Compliance if you haven't seen it. It's streaming on Netflix.
yeah, great movie.
Any more?
That's it.
That is it. Well, this has been our top 5 torture scenes
That's right.
on Postmortem. So every week we say the same thing.
We do. Just
Crow.
like H.P. Lovecraft once said, "If it smells like fish,
Throw the fucker back.
throw it back."